Hello and welcome back to our live stream. The stream for something I haven't paid attention because I've been terrified. But more directly, oh yes, Jade, what are we streaming for?
We are raising money for the Lilith Fund in Texas. You should go check them out. I think it's lilith.org. I'll drop the link to their website as well as our donation link will go up in the chat in just a moment. But they're there helping people access abortions down in Texas, doing the good work. Because we don't like the laws that are getting passed down there. So we thought, well, we'll do what we do, which is we're going to play games and raise some money for a good cause. And and you can donate while we play this game you're about to hear about. One, you can just donate, or two, you can affect the game as it happens.
Yes, we are streaming because we hate laws. This time it's a specific law, but we'll come for the rest later. Yes, so welcome to They Can't Evict All of Us, a Savage Worlds tale of capitalist horror. My name is Zachary Frederickson, and I will be your building manager for the day. Or at least this short time slot, as I step into the shoes of the petite bourgeoisie and do my ready best to destroy those damn tenants who just demand so much. It's not my fault that it broke. Why do I have to fix it?
This is the most terrifying role I've ever seen, Zach, in that of a landlord.
Yes. So my name is Zachary Frederickson. I am your building manager, your game master for the day, and my pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at obfuscatinggod. You can find the music I do at iambugbear.bandcamp.com. And I'm joined today by some fantastic tenant players. The first of which I will mention being Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I use she or they pronouns, and you can find me on the internet at RedTailTalk90. And today I'm playing everyone's favorite himbo, Erwin Rucker.
Yes. I'm also joined by my friend Jade.
Hello, I'm Jade. You can find me on Twitter at JadeOxfordRose, as well as hearing my dulcet tones on For the Leader and Dumb Kids Playing Hero, as well as the Escafil Files. Today I am playing a very young, quiet, goth trans kid called Gray Noack. And I love him already.
Mm-hmm.
He's brand new.
Keep him safe. And last but not least, after orbiting in concentric but never meeting, I have finally nailed down Izzy to play in the same game.
Hey, I'm Izzy. I use CCR pronouns. You definitely heard me be really, really gay in the last game, and now you get to hear me be Dusk, Dusk Skies, who uses he, him pronouns. He's a 20-something-year-old college student who's very tired.
Yes, we got the boy squad here today. It is boys' night.
From girls on the ocean to boys in a building.
Boys in a building. So yeah, today we are playing Savage Worlds, which is a setting agnostic role-playing system by not Pelgrane Press, that's Gumshoe, by the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, more specifically, or like largely Shane Hensley. It is built off of the bones of the old Deadlands classic, Deadlands the Weird West system, but it now has a huge amount of settings like East Texas University and the Last Parsec and Deadlands again. Interface Zero, Necessary Evil, Rifts for Savage Worlds, Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, The Day After Ragnarok. Just an enormous amount of Savage Worlds made for Savage Worlds. There's a Longmore one too, which is fun. But today we are not playing in any of those worlds. We are playing in a world much like our own. You could even say it lives next door. In this world, but before I get into the actual spiel, I should say what the kind of donation thing is today, because in Savage Worlds, you as players, you play player characters, and other important NPCs are referred to as wild cards, which means that you roll not just your skill or trait die when you do a roll, but you also add an additional wild die that makes the chances a little bit better for you to succeed. And you also get something called a Benny. You get 3 at the beginning of a session. These things. When you spend it, you drag it out of your hand onto the table, and then it goes away forever. And you start with 3. And normally, under a normal Savage Worlds game, I would award these to you throughout the game for good character play or interesting tactics or other fun things. But the thing is, we are not playing a pulp action style scenario today. You are not great heroes, punching Nazis or fighting, like dragons. You are just 3 poor people living in a building and trying to survive. And so, instead of me giving it to you, there's only 2 ways you can get it. Either the random windfall of drawing a Joker in combat, which gives everyone a Benny, or by throwing yourselves upon the charity of your peers and getting it in the form of donations. That is $5 donation to get a character a Benny, $10 to give them a point of conviction. A Benny can be used to like re-roll a check or to re-roll damage or to do a number of other things. They can also be used to draw new action card in combat, to recover from shaken if you have been shaken, to soak damage, various things. Conviction points can be spent to just add a straight D6 to the die. Usually you just roll 2 dice and take the higher, but with a point of conviction, you add a D6 to that number as well. Very useful. And if $20 is ever given, is ever donated, then everybody gets a Benny, and everybody gets +2 on their rolls for the rest of the scene. So those are the things that a Benny can do. Those are the ways that you can get them. I will not be giving them to you because that's not my job today.
Yeah, a really handy thing for bennies is you can use them to prevent wounds. They're called a soak roll when you do that. I am a very small, skinny person in the game, not in life. Quite the opposite. But I am not going to be able to take much in the way of those before I go down. So any ways to prevent that from happening would be great.
Unfortunately, you will still have to make a soak roll, which is a vigor check, if you want to remove.
That's fine. I put points into vigor.
Did you put points into vigor?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just your size that made you so not strong. All right, well, hopefully that works out today. So, as I was saying, before I digressed into mechanics. No, that's not a digression. That's the tone of the game.
Noted.
This world is not those fantastical worlds. We are not in the Weird West. We are not in the City of Thieves, the City of the Black Toga. We are not in the great recesses of space. We are in a city like any other, where people work and live and try to get by despite the hardships, where people band together, where the brightness of the morning sun is almost nice enough to offset the smell of garbage rising from the sewer grates. And it is in this city that a building stands. This building, well, it has an address, but that address doesn't matter. What matters is what the people who live in it call it. And what the people who live in it call it is the box. 4 floors, nearly perfectly square in its shape. Uniform apartments, concrete stairs, and a host of problems, not the least of which is a broken elevator, now going on its third month of being out of order. After the first month of being out of order, one of the tenants of this building, a woman named Cassandra Timos, called a building meeting. All of the apartment tenants met together and were told in no uncertain terms that they didn't have to stand for this, that a rent strike. This is not a great part of town anyway. It's not like in its current state, any new tenants could be found if they managed to kick you all out. You're the only people who are willing to live here because you're the only people who can't afford to go anywhere else, but you can afford, if you work together, to make a little bit of change. And after 2 months of striking, your landlords, a man named Stephen Baxter, capitulated. He promised that the elevator would be fixed. He promised that a number of other grievances would be addressed, and left it at that. And it is just a few days after that capitulation that we come back. The morning is bright, it is crisp, it is early autumn. There are a dappling of red leaves on green trees. There is a sort of crispness to the air, despite the aforementioned garbage in the sewers. And it is on this bright morning that we lay our eyes upon Gray Novak. Gray is coming back from dropping off his younger sibling to school. Gray, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and what we see as you return home after walking your younger sibling to school?
Gray, like so many of us in our youth, I say like it's not me now. Very sort of alt vibe in terms of appearance, is short and skinny. We're talking 5'4", less than 100 pounds, with clearly home dyed black hair, with a bright blue sweep through his bangs, residual eyeliner from yesterday as well as this morning's eyeliner added on top, dressed in shapeless clothes and walking with the kind of posture that screams, "Please don't look at me."
Oh.
He is 16 years old, and is currently debating with himself about whether to just fully drop out of school and get his GED, because right now he works part-time, but school is not a great place for him. Nowhere is especially a great place. This is a kid that will like spend a lot of time watching movies and reading and just generally escaping his day-to-day existence. But hey, he started transitioning in the past sort of year, and that has helped some, but also kids are awful. So that was part of what incentivized him to get a job. So, but yeah, his mum is working full-time and picking up extra shifts as and when. So he spends a lot of time at the apartment by himself.
Yes.
Or with his sister, who,
like...
I said, is a preschooler, like, very ickle. So,
yes. Just a little baby, yes. Your mom is already gone to work by the time you and her wake up. So it falls to you to take her to school. Thankfully, your classes don't start until a number of hours into the day. That kind of senior...
if I go today.
If you go today. Yeah, so you are walking down the street of this city, keeping your just skirting maybe some trash bins that people leave a little too close to the curb, a little too dominant on the sidewalks. You see um, the front of the box. It's big, uh, you know, sturdy wood reinforced double doors. And you see outside of the box, standing, kind of checking his phone and looking a little bit concerned, is your landlord, Steve Baxter.
I don't want to deal with this. Is there any way of me getting through the doors without him noticing me?
Absolutely. He does not really seem extremely what's the word? Like present in this moment. Like I said, he's like checking his phone a lot and looks a little like concerned about something. So there's a good chance that you could just slip right by him and get in. How about we roll our first roll of the day, and you can give us some stealth.
All right. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So the way that skill checks work in this game is every character has a skill die or a trait die that is a die from D4 to D12 that you roll to attempt to do a skill or to just perform an action if the result is in question. Now, what you always want to hit, almost always, is a 4. It's a static target value. Which is 4 for most skill checks. The thing that changes are the circumstances that might give you penalties or bonuses. And the thing about wild cards, which are what player characters and other important NPCs are, is they also get to roll a wild die, which is the second die that just increases their chances. So you failed on your D8, which is what your stealth is, but your wild die rolls a 5, which is greater than 4, which means you are able to easily slip past and walk inside. Steve doesn't even notice you, which maybe is not new for you.
Mm-hmm.
You enter the ground floor of the apartment building, the box. You see the elevator with its long, now faded, out of order sign. You see the little it's like a business center. It's also the only place where Wi-Fi works reliably in the building. So it's really just a long counter with some uncomfortable chairs that people can sit at and bring their own laptops to connect to the building Wi-Fi.
This
To
is
your
my
left,
nightmare.
it's horrible.
Nightmare.
Across the foyer from that is the sample apartment, which could be used, but instead is the only apartment that's kept up to like pristine conditions. It's the one that Steve shows like prospective tenants, because it doesn't look anything like any other other apartment in the building. And then at the far end is Steve's suite, which is two apartments that have been converted into a duplex that he lives in sometimes. He doesn't even live here that often, but he still uses half of the ground floor as his own personal like space.
Because of course he does.
Because of course he does. It's his building. He gets to do what he wants.
I will text Cassandra
Mm-hmm.
and see if she knows if that Steve is lurking and if she knows why.
Sure. She texts you back. She says that he told her that they were going to get some repairmen in today. That today was the day that the elevator was finally going to get fixed, or at least start being fixed. And she says, like, if you don't want to deal with a bunch of guys running around in the foyer, it's probably you probably don't want to deal with that. So I'll come down in a bit to like keep an eye on things.
Sweet. Just like a string of gratitude in emoji form, and then I'll head up to the apartment.
The only way to get up or down any floor is through the concrete stairwell. You enter it. It is bad. It's a bad stairwell. The stairs are a little too like long. The steps are a little too long, so it's like kind of weird to like step down. Though each of as you walk, you see the DIY ramps that Dusk and Cassandra and a couple other people installed a few days actually after the thing broke, because one of your neighbors is wheelchair bound and lives on a high floor. And it's not a perfect solution because ramps usually need to be much shallower than a stair will be, but at least it means that she's not completely like isolated up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if it's quiet, I will listen to make sure nobody is coming, and then I will I'll practice some of my free running moves in the stairwell on my way up. Well, there's nobody around to see me doing it.
So Gray does some cool parkour up the stairs. You do the thing where you step on one banister and then step on the next banister, and instead of walking, an extra 20 seconds, you're on the next landing. It's very cool, and pretty soon you make your way up to the 3rd floor. And before we talk about what happens at the 3rd floor, I want to tell the audience something that happens on the ground floor. So I'm going to ask for a moment that each of you deafen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
No worries. So, audience, it's just you and me now. Because the camera sees something that Gray doesn't see, and thus the players don't see. And what the cameras see is Steve Baxter outside getting a text message notification, paling slightly, and then steeling himself, and then chaining the front doors shut before slapping a condemned sign on them. And I will now tell my players to come back. Welcome back. Just needed to, tell them a little bit of information. That's fine. So as Gray Novak is free running up the stairs, the camera comes up and goes into another set of windows to enter the apartment of Dusk. Now, I will say these windows, while sturdy, are barred because Steve is very careful about anybody getting burglared. It doesn't matter that you're on the 3rd floor and that the fire escape rotted away last year.
Oh, Lord.
Your windows it didn't rot away. It's just that most of the footholds did. The frame is still there. It looks like a fire escape, but you know that it's bad.
Somebody's paying off the fire department.
Mm-hmm. So Dusk, what is it that we see as we come along to see your apartment?
So Dusk's apartment is honestly a little bit bare bones in regards to stuff. A lot of people think like really young, like 19 to 20 somethings have a lot of stuff, and like to a degree they do. Dusk left most of his stuff with his mom because he's like, I am he walked into this apartment when he first moved in, looked at his stuff, and was like, no, this stuff's not living here.
You want a better life for your things than you have for yourself.
Yes. Also, he needs room to work on like costumes and like
Ooh.
props and small set pieces that he can move in and out of the door because he's a theater student. And so his apartment is full of like small building supplies, but no power tools because I'm pretty sure he got told to stop doing that because of the noise.
Yeah, the noise, people don't like noise. Generally, and when in a building that's like already got so much stuff, the sound of like at all over hours of the night is just like, that's too much, bro.
Yeah, the most he has is like a low power drill and a sewing machine. But what he's doing right now is it's early for him because he had to wake up to turn in a paper that he procrastinated on.
Of course.
Because he was doing a show and didn't have time. So he's very groggy. He's made himself some coffee, squished a couple of cockroaches, is eating a microwave breakfast sausage thing. No, it's a burrito. It's a breakfast burrito. And with his coffee and his breakfast burrito, like, sort of like opens his door to stand in it to smoke.
Incredible. Not the window, the hallway.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. So which means that you're kind of standing in and out of the hallway, as Gray comes up to the landing. Your apartment, kind of primely placed because you're the furthest from the stairs, but you're also the closest to the chutes. Because on each floor there is a pair of steel openings, or what's the like lids, but like
Hatches?
Hatches, yeah, steel hatches that have the letters, the faded, picked away mostly letters stenciled on them of laundry and trash. Both of these chutes go to the basement, which is not actually accessible from within the building. It's a street access basement. But it does have, then this was one of those great amenities that Steve managed to sell each of you on when you moved in. It does have a laundry machine, which in the city, you know, like it's better than going to like an actual, you know, like a laundromat. It is all immediately next to the trash chute though, which goes to the dumpster in the basement. So you really got to be careful about how you angle your bag if you're going to drop your laundry chute down the bag, your laundry bag down the chute. You just don't want to bank it and end up in the dumpster.
Then you gotta go all the way downstairs, dig your clothes out of the dumpster, and you're already there, so you might as well walk into the laundry room.
Exactly. But at least you don't have to carry trash downstairs. But yeah, so you're smoking as Gray comes up the landing. How well did the two of you get along?
Dusk is amenable to kids.
Fucking excuse you.
Listen, Dusk is also 19 and Gray is 16, so they're not that far apart in age.
That's why I'm saying excuse me.
And what's more, talking about like his little sister. Like, he's very friendly and offers like snacks and a place to just kind of hang out if they ever need it while their mom's gone.
I feel because Dusk is like super tall, right?
Yeah. Dusk
very
is
tall.
6'8", according to the sheets.
Yes, he is 6'8". He dresses like an alt.
Which does mean that Dusk is constantly stooping to get through door frames, and it means that Dusk is like very aware of how much he was lied to by the landlord, because Steve definitely told you that these are 10-foot ceilings, but you know for sure these are 7.5-foot ceilings.
Yep, I'm constantly bonking into like light fixtures and ceiling fans.
I feel like Gray is pretty chill with Dusk. I do feel like when the power tools started, it was Gray, who came and yelled because like mom sleeping baby sister just like you no no. But I feel like maybe they got past the initial interaction of a very irate tiny goth kid showing up being like, you need to shut the fuck up before I shut you up.
Just being like, listen, bring it.
Yeah, Gray plays softball, so may have brought the bat to do that on the door.
Dusk holding a drill, looking like he's exhausted and could murder. Not actually, but you know, exhausted like college students always look like they could murder somebody at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, some hella tension here.
Yeah, I mean that was the initial. I feel like things have mellowed since then.
They both like AFI.
God. But yeah, so cordial even on the bad days is still like, hey, we live in this same shithole. Solidarity, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, so the two of you lock eyes as Gray appears.
Slightly flushed from parkouring up the stairs.
Yeah.
Dusk like blows out some smoke like away from Gray and then just waves.
Yeah, that very awkward sort of ha busted. I've been busted kind of.
I mean, Dusk is definitely not supposed to be smoking in the hallway, so it's a I won't tell your secret if you don't tell mine moment.
Gee. Gives a little thumbs up and then we'll knock on Erwin's door.
Erwin, you are already home, I'm sure, and can smell the smoke. And
it's a close cigarette because Dusk is that person.
Jesus.
Of course. And so yeah, we see your apartment as like you look up or whatever. So how do we see Erwin for the first time, and what is his apartment?
His apartment is neat, a little Spartan, not a lot of things like personal effects, just kind of like a dresser and a bed. The only thing that he has that seems like not standard for the apartment is a tank sitting on top of his dresser that's got like leafy shit in it and a heat lamp. And as we see him, yeah, he's leaning over the tank and picking up his crested gecko and cooing at her as he puts her into his front shirt pocket. He's wearing like a tank top with like a kind of like a button down over it, but it's a short sleeve button down. And he kind of like just coaxes her into the pocket and is picking up the newspaper in the tank. And that's when Gray knocks. And so he looks up. He's got like one hand full of dirty newspaper and opens the door with the other hand. Oh, hey, Gray. How's it going?
Morning, and we'll just like proffer the candy bar because like this is what he does when he drops off. But gets something for him and something for Erwin.
Oh. Erwin smiles real big and puts it into his other shirt pocket and then heads over to the trash chute to dump off the dirty newspaper, kind of like shuffles past Dusk.
Dusk in the process of putting the cigarette out in his coffee mug.
Gross. You should be able to.
The coffee. He's done with
it. You should be able to move your characters. It's like we're not going to be doing like any like real strong like tactical grid combat, but you can move your characters around to act. You know what I mean? Like to move the little dollies. Fantastic. Yeah. So you head over to the trash chute. You drop it down. What's your crested gecko's name?
Penelope.
I love her.
Yeah. So Penelope is just chilling in your pocket, kind of looking around, licking her eye. doing what doing what geckos do. They got tongues.
Licks both eyes like one after the other. Just
Uh-huh.
Looks a little bit like it's just the way that she's like her claws like have arranged, but it does look like that cat in the shirt pocket flipping people off.
Yeah, the rip and dip cat.
Yeah. So when you drop your trash down the chute, and the three of you are in your hallway together, and that is when your phone rings or buzzes, depending on if you're like me and always keep it on vibrate.
Whose does?
Or Erwin's.
Erwin kind of fumbles around, like checks all of his pockets, even though he always puts his phone in the same pocket. And he's definitely the kind of person that has a ringtone. It's like whatever country song is on the top 20 this week. And he looks a little sheepish as he pulls it out of his pocket, like, sorry.
I love beer in the morning and the down, no.
And answers it, hello.
And it is the voice of Cassandra, your downstairs neighbor, and she says, "Erwin, there's something in my apartment."
Oh, is it have you got another snake in there?
I don't know. It's I only saw I'm locked in the bed, Erwin. And as she is talking, her voice is getting harder to understand. Like static is coming in.
All right, Miss Cassandra, don't worry. I'll be down in just a minute. All right. You stay put. Is your front door open?
The call disconnects. And you look at it, and you look at your phone, and you have 0 bars.
Well, that's inconvenient. And then he shrugs and puts his phone back in his pocket. And kind of looks at Dusk and Gray and says, I think Cassandra has another snake in her apartment. I gotta go rescue it before she does something rash.
Do you need any help? I got a net.
A net would be great, actually, yeah.
Yeah, let me go grab it. And Dusk like disappears back into his apartment to put the coffee mug down and grab this like it's one of those mesh nets that people hang up to put like stuffed animals in, but it's like laying across his workspace because he was gonna do something with it. He just grabs it and brings it out. It's like, I don't know if it's the best one for the job, but it's not got big holes.
Yeah, that'll work.
And it's as you're standing in this in your hallway, like looking at this, that the air, this morning air, is cut by a blood-curdling scream from downstairs.
Erwin starts running.
Almost as soon as it starts, stops. Like somebody screaming at the
shit out of Dusk
at the top of their lungs and then being silenced. And so the three of you run down the stairs. You see Cassandra's door is not open, not at least not standing open, and and this is going to be one of the silly things. I didn't have time to source a lot of icons, so I'm using Pathfinder 2nd Edition generic humans. And you see the door open. Yeah, the door open across the way, and Simon Barker is like kind of looking out of his apartment. He goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Erwin tries the door handle.
It is locked.
Dusk to Simon says, "We think it was Cassandra."
I mean, it came from her apartment.
Erwin looks over his shoulder at Simon and says, "You're sure?"
He just kind of nods.
I'm gonna try to break the door down.
Fantastic. Give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Ooh, it was almost not, but that 4 is just enough. As you slam your shoulder into the kind of like weaker part of the door, the hinge kind of chips and the door swings open, and immediately you are all faced with a scent that you really would under no circumstance want to smell in a person's apartment in the morning, which is the smell of blood.
Mm.
Cassandra's room is in an absolute chaos. It's like torn apart. You see her bed has been shredded. All of your apartments are single room, like kind of a shared living and sleeping space with like a little kitchenette and a bathroom. So like it's really easy to just see just the amount of shit that's just been like torn apart and thrown around. And you see across the way, the door of her bathroom is hanging slightly cracked open.
Miss Cassandra?
Dusk is like peering over Erwin's shoulder.
Can everybody make a notice check? Ooh, good job. You're Erwin.
I just click on the thingy to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, yeah. 2 10s, 2 10 pluses. Also, if you want, you could turn on 3D dice. Though I guess Brian, the streamer, would have to have 3D dice turned on as well. I just like to see him run around. Because the fun thing in this game is whenever you roll the highest number on your die, it's what's called an ace, where you roll again and add that. And that can go theoretically forever. I've had games of Savage World games where someone rolls a d4 and rolls 4 8 times in a row.
Dope.
It's wild. So one, you can tell that smell is definitely coming from the bathroom. 2, you notice Erwin. I think you and Gray notice this the most. The kind of like chaos of the room is coming, like looks like it started in her closet. Somehow, like there's some sort of like some the like debris, the way that it's fallen makes it seem like that's where it, like some sort of origin point is.
Erwin is going to hold a hand behind him to indicate to Gray and Dusk to like stay where they are. And then he's going to go in to check in on the bathroom.
Fantastic.
Dusk does not listen. It's like very close behind.
And Erwin, actually, as you are moving in with that amazing 11, which is a raise, nearly 2 raises, as you move in, you hear something skittering in the ceiling. It moves away quickly as you move through, but you can't really pinpoint it. But it was like in the ceiling above you. And then slowly you press open the door of the bathroom. These bathrooms are not big. It's like a toilet, a sink, and a bathtub right next to each other. And inside, you find the body of Cassandra Timos.
Heck.
I did flag this scenario for body horror and stuff, but I'm not going to get too visceral in my description of her, but it isn't pretty.
So it's super obvious that she's dead.
she is not just, she is killed
Mhm.
by like it looks like an animal or something.
All right. Well,
Um,
Erwin's gonna check to make sure just in case.
Sure. Actually, with this, we should actually pull in one of the setting, not setting, but like one of the sort of subsystems that we're using today, which is fear.
Mm-hmm.
So, Erwin, as you see Cassandra's body for the first time, I would like for you to make a fear check, which is a spirit roll. And I
Oh,
believe
God.
you add something to it. Right? You get a bonus to fear rolls, don't you?
Yes, I do. 'Cause
I think it's
heroic.
included. I think.
It's not that you're heroic, it's that you're brave.
No, it's brave. Right, that's it. I'm looking at
Yes.
the wrong one. These valiant explorers add +2 to fear checks and subtract 2 from fear table results.
So you rolled a 10 on your fear check,
Yeah.
which means that you are able to hold like keep a hold of yourself. If you had failed a fear check, we would have rolled on the fear table,
Mhm.
which is very fun. So you're able to hold on to yourself, hold in this moment, and like not go to pieces. But it is a one, it obviously very disturbing, and two, very sad to see someone that you were talking to moments ago like this.
Mhm.
Dusk piping up from the main space. What's in there?
Erwin kind of stands up after checking to make sure that she's dead. Kind of backs out of the bathroom and closes it behind him. And leaves like a smear of blood on the doorknob.
Mm.
And you notice that his hands are shaking. And he says, someone has to call an ambulance.
Dusk, like, fumbling for his phone.
Mm-hmm. You pull out your phone and you have no service.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Because typically, even if you don't have service, you can still manage to get 911. Does it just not work?
Yeah, it's not that you like have run out of minutes. It's that your phone is not connecting to any towers.
Great. It is not working.
I'll check mine.
Same deal.
All right. Then we should something with the building. We should get out. Yeah, we should get out.
Should we get everybody else out? Like, should I pull like the fire alarm or something?
It's not working.
Well, fuck.
I think Erwin looks up at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. And as you look at the thing, you remember that like the kind of like thing, it looked like something had like happened in the closet at the start of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go look at the closet.
There was a hole in the ceiling of the closet.
Oh no.
Looks like something chewed its way in.
Okay, yeah, we should get everybody out of the building.
Aaliyah's upstairs.
Okay.
I take off, heading upstairs.
Fantastic. How are you moving? Like quickly, quietly?
Quickly.
Quickly. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you charge up the stairs, 2 flights. Thankfully, being so small means you don't have a lot to like bring with you. So it's not like it's the thing where like someone who's very very light can do pull-ups really easily. So like you don't get like winded too badly because
Yeah.
you're like just moving like such little weight. And yeah, you fly up the staircase. What are Dusk and Erwin doing?
I think Dusk is out the door next and is gonna go like to Simon and Dan's and be like, "Y'all need to get like down and out. There's something in here."
So, what do you mean something? She, inside Simon and Dan, the hashtag quote unquote roommates. Dan is looks like Dan is like still sleeping in a little bit, but Simon is still up from last night. Simon is an overnight valet, while Dan is a personal trainer at a local gym. And so their room is a mishmash of like free weight stuff and whatever a valet likes, which is podcasts.
You know what, Mood? Dusk looks back at Cassandra's door and then back at Simon and says, "Something bad just happened and we can't call 911."
What? Simon pulls out his phone and like looks at it, and you can tell is having the same issue that you're having. That's not possible. That's not the way that phones are supposed to work.
It sure isn't.
Shit.
You guys gotta get down to the lobby and get out. Just in case, because we don't know what the fuck did this.
All right. And you see him go inside to start shaking Dan awake. Erwin, what are you doing?
Erwin is trying to find something to block this hole.
Sure. So Cassandra, in addition to being the like rent activist for like the organizer for your strike, is just a general activist as well. A lot of like labor stuff and like like LGBT stuff and like workplace stuff. So she's got like some sign making stuff.
I'm so sad she's dead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was kind of like the hero of the building, in some ways. So you definitely have like, plywood sticks that you would put like cardstock on, stacks of stock, like some markers and stuff. She's got a bullhorn, for chanting slogans, and is it slogans when it's like anti? Still slogans, right?
I think it's still slogans or chants or
Yeah.
For leading chants and stuff. So yeah, you could just put a big stack of cardstock and some duct tape up there.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you're doing that. We like the of duct tape being pulled apart. Gray, you make your way to the 4th floor. You have 2 neighbors on this floor. One is Aaliyah Knott, and the other is Eleanor Finley, who both should be here. Aaliyah works from home as a music blogger, and like a freelance music journalist, she would say. But in this era, blogging and journalism are so weirdly intertwined. And Eleanor is a mail carrier, so she would have already finished her route by now.
I'm heading to Aaliyah's door, but I'll like knock on Eleanor's as I go past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, we need to evacuate the building. There's some kind of something happened to Cassandra, and we can't call 911, so we're gonna get out.
Oh boy. Cool. So you're doing that. Aaliyah is comes and opens the door. Aaliyah is your neighbor who is wheelchair bound.
She's a wheelchair user, you mean?
Wheelchair user. Yes, my apologies. Is your one who's a wheelchair user, and she like kind of pulls up the door and says, "Sorry, what happened to Cassandra?"
We don't exactly know, but she called Erwin, scared that there was something in her apartment, and now we need to go. Please.
She like looks back at like all her stuff, and like it's like evacuate might mean like can't come back for a while. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here that I need. You could give me a persuasion to like rush her out, or you could try to whatever else. If you wanted to just leave and just drop all this, it would be persuasion.
I'm not very persuasive is the thing.
No.
I literally have a penalty. Oh, I have a penalty to intimidation. I'm mild-mannered. It's one of my hindrances. So I'll like look, I'll grab whatever you want me to grab, but please.
Okay. She like goes and wheels over to like she's got like this cool rucksack, and she's like just these speakers are expensive. She's got like a little stereo system that like as like as a music writer is like extremely you need to be able to hear the music right. So she is like asking you to like help her load a stereo system into her backpack so that she can take it with her in case she can't come back.
A stereo system, really?
Hey, you do your job the way that you do it. I need this to live.
I'm still in. Okay. I'll help her do that.
As you are doing that, give me another notice roll.
Okay. I mean, click and drag to roll the dice. Fuck off, roll 20.
So it's a 4 and a 4, right? Because you get +2 to notice because you are alert, which means you hear it. And more than that, you feel it when something starts moving in the floor underneath you.
I will jump backwards and, apologizing profusely as I do so, move the side of Aaliyah's chair so it's not directly under her either.
As you do, you move like just in time, effectively. Like you grab her and like jump out of the side, and as something stabs up out of the floor, it looks strange. It is a long, wickedly sharp spike dripping with some strange liquid. And it's not like coming from like any specific. It's like it's sweating this liquid, and it is like affixed to the end of some weird pink fleshy appendage or tentacle.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Can I? Where I am in the apartment, and because it's like my apartment, can I reach around for like a frying pan or a wok or a saucepan? Yeah,
you are. So you're in the kitchenette right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me. You don't have to. I don't think you have to roll. To. So you're gonna give me, an opposed agility to try to like be able to act before this thing like pulls its like stinger down.
Cool.
It's a 1 and a 4. I'm gonna roll its agility.
10? Ha!
D10, but that's a 3 and you rolled a 4. So you're able to get one hit off as you're grabbing a wok, you said?
Or a frying pan, like a skillet, just something with a large enough surface area that I can grab and then just swing down.
Fantastic. Give me a fighting roll then. This thing, it's going to have a lower parry than it usually would because it's like stuck in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. 7.
Hey. Nice.
That would have actually exceeded its normal parry anyway.
I've watched Tangled many times.
Uh-huh.
I know how to wield a frying pan.
Sweet.
It's
So
your
yeah, so
baby sister's favorite movie.
you
Mhm.
like slam down on this thing's tail and it goes.
Christ.
It's like someone took like the kind of squeaks and chittering of a rat and pitched it down. Roll damage. You're gonna roll your strength plus a d4.
Okay, so roll strength.
Not your wild die, just the d4.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It rolls it automatically.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'll roll an extra d4. Hey.
6. So you deal 6 damage, which is not enough to shake it, but it is enough to like scare it. As it like retracts this thing, and you hear it like skitter away under the floorboards. And she goes, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck was that? Gray, what the fuck was that?"
Do I look like I know the answer to that question?
Oh shit. Okay.
Still want to pack the stereo?
Fuck the stereo.
Wicked.
She begins rolling out. Eleanor heard all those screams, kind of comes out with a softball bat and a softball.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's like holding them both up, like just not in like she's ready to fight, just like brandishing them, and she's like, "What's going on?"
There is something in the building, and it's bad, and it's. I'm just like holding this frying pan for dear life. We need to go.
Okay.
Bad, good.
Bad. Okay. And she like kind of comes over here, like moves out of the way for Aaliyah. And you start making your way down. It's because the ramp is steeper than it should be. Like it is like still slower than like it would be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to be slow. Like you have to be careful, or else she'll like it's just it's shitty. This place is not as accessible as it should be, or as it was like advertised to be. So you start making your way down, and you get down there just about as soon as like Dan is woken up. It's like, whoa, where's my Simon? Where's my shake?
Dusk like, Dan, wake the fuck up.
Yeah. And he like kind of on autopilot goes over to the blender to make his protein shake for the morning. And so it is this scene that Aaliyah and Eleanor and Gray like come to as they hit the second floor landing. And Aaliyah says, "There's something in here and it's got a tentacle and I hate it and we need to go." And so that's what you hear as Gray and Eleanor and Aaliyah get down to the bottom floor, the second floor rather.
Dusk suddenly, very loudly, "My cat!"
Oh my god.
Oh,
You have a
God,
cat?
That's because a cat.
I'm not supposed to, but yeah, I have a cat.
Erwin comes out of Cassandra's room, wiping his hands off on his cargo shorts, and says, "You get them all out of here. I'll go get your cat."
Okay. Dusk like, My cat.
Simon drags Dan out. Dan has only done one pulse on the bullet blender instead of two. He's like, it's lumpy, Simon. He says, Dan, we have other problems.
I love these guys. I want the side. I want their whole story.
The problem is that Dan likes to have bananas and also spinach.
Oh, that'll be the
no.
worst.
That's a bad combo.
smoothie.
Ugh.
Like it's good when it's all pulsed together, but like
Exactly. That's why he's like, I'm gonna have to. It's like a salad.
There's my car has like one of those generator thingies that's got an outlet on it. You can pulse it when we get out of here.
Oh. Yeah.
We gotta go, and we.
So Dan is carrying his blender. His
Freaking magic bullet.
magic bullet blender, yeah. Or a generic. It is a generic. He's not going to buy the actual thing from the ad.
I didn't know you do that. I was trying to look at it.
I love that hindrance. Cool. So he's carrying his blender. Simon is just kind of holding onto him because Danny is like big and strong. And so the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 6 of you are heading down to the foyer.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
No, Erwin's going to go get my cat.
That's what is 6 plus Owen.
6. There's 7 of you total. There was 8 of you originally, and then Cassandra is dead. Cool. So you all head down, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, Erwin.
Yes.
You are heading up to get Dusk's cat.
Yes.
She is a big gray Maine Coon
Uh-huh.
whose name is Duchess, and she hates people.
Okay.
Erwin has probably heard her.
So Erwin sprints up the stairs and goes into Dusk's apartment, which is still open from Dusk smoking. And he starts calling out, Duchess! Duchess, where are you, sweetheart?
Fantastic. Erwin, give me persuasion.
Okay.
Roll persuasion against this cat. Why are we worried? Why are we fucking worried? Erwin's a fucking 17.
This is Erwin.
It's a cat.
Erwin Rucker, friend of the animal kingdom.
Yes. That is his whole deal.
Mm-hmm. Erwin Rucker with a gecko still in his pocket.
Yep.
You like go in. What is great because we saw like a bit of this. It's like just full of like
Dusk.
shit. The Dusk
It's
department. Right.
full of like shit for theater bullshit. There's like he doesn't have a real table. He's got like a card, like 2 really garbage like $20 card tables that have like certain pieces of equipment on it, half-built projects. There's stuff all over the floor, but there's like a clear path that can be seen that he keeps clear leading from a cat tree to other parts of the apartment.
Incredible.
That does not mean that Duchess takes that path.
No, because you like your eye is drawn immediately to the cat tree, and you're like, okay, so she must be in there. And then you hear like a purring, and it's actually coming from the most cluttered part of the room, which is just a bunch of scrap wood, and like fabric, bits of fabric swatches and stuff just piled into a corner, and Duchess is just sitting on it and just like
That's sounds about right. She's a big ass Maine Coon.
Yeah.
A big ass cat, which means that when she jumps into your arms as soon as you call her, it like knocks you on your back foot almost, and you're like you're like I think the strongest person here apart from
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she's just a big pile of cat, and she just like kind of snuggles up in your arms, and like your tail kind of lashes a little bit, and as she's doing that, and you're like we do see like her like getting your arms, and like Penelope like
Makes the gecko screech.
makes like a gecko like
Make weird squeaking noises. It's
yeah,
hilarious.
kind of like shuffles a little bit to the side to make room and like looks put out. And then you hear something thump to the ground behind you.
I turn around.
You turn around slowly because this is a horror movie.
Mhm.
And
I also don't want to upset the cat.
Yeah, and you are the first person to see it in whole. You see a hole. You like notice it first, and like a weird like your brain is trying not to think about the thing that it is.
Mm-hmm.
You see the hole chewed in the ceiling, and it was not there moments ago.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing bites and like chews quickly, and then you see the thing itself. Man-sized, but not man-shaped. An enormous, you can't tell if it's bipedal or quadrupedal, but it is hunched, slavering jaws, bright red eyes. A creature that looks like a rat, but with hands. Its long whip-like tail ending in a sharp stinger. And this is the thing. Actually, roll two things. One, roll fear, and roll a fear check, and also roll a notice check.
So that's +2. That's a 10 on fear.
Why do we ever need? We don't need to worry about this boy being scared.
You really should listen to like the OG setting.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a weird rat, but it's a rat. I mean,
It's a weird rat. It is in my notes. It is called the rat thing. And
There's
a
my
5
notes.
on your notice. You notice something strange. In addition, like one, this is a weird, terrifying rat thing. Like that's it in on its own bad. That's a bad thing, bad to look at. But you also see on its head, as it like kind of like leans down and gets ready to like pounce on you, is the gleam of chrome and LEDs. Some sort of metal thing bolted onto this thing's skull as it screams at you and prepares to pounce. But you are lucky because you have a cat in your arms. And she goes, and the rat thing like lets out a terrified shriek and just jumps into the trash chute and wriggles down.
good girl, Duchess.
She just purr. Pleased with herself.
Outie.
Yeah. So you head down, and so we'll cut back a little bit earlier. Gray, dusk, you shuttle Dan, Simon, Aaliyah, and Eleanor downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You see the business center, you see the broken elevator, you see the sample apartment, you see Suite, and you see the front door, and you see something Because the front door, like many front doors, it has like a kind of a lattice, a window where like there's like metal grates with a window in them, and you can see through it some sort of paper has been affixed to the front of the building.
Like just a piece of paper, like a sign, or like the whole door is covered.
Like a sign.
Dusk's just gonna go try and see if he can't like read it backwards, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds like the sort of thing that someone could do. Give me it's a smarts roll.
Just straight up smarts.
Yeah, just straight up smarts, because like
Wow.
we can just do that sometimes. Sweet. Yeah, you can see backwards. You read the word condemned, and you
Well-
also notice something is that when you try to push the doors open, they don't budge.
Fuck.
And peering around, you see a heavy, thick chain wrapped around the door handles outside.
Double fuck.
What's going on?
Well, apparently the building is condemned, and there's a chain on the door.
But they can't. We're in here.
Uh-huh.
Great. How you doing?
That's a very good question.
What is Gray doing?
Gray is kicking himself for not talking to Steve when he came into the building 10 minutes ago, or however long ago that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
you don't see Steve out there.
I'm gonna head into Steve's suite. I want to see if there's any papers or anything in there, or if he has cleared it out.
So you go to open the door to Steve's suite, and it is locked.
Knew I should have fucking kept that thievery skill. Can I do an unskilled attempt to get it open?
What are you using to do that?
I imagine, given the shitty quality of things, if need be, I will go rip some wire out of the business center. Or like get something, just a couple of small bits of metal to do it.
Maybe it's like Brian's apartment. You can jimmy it open with a credit card.
The thing is, actually, Steve, most of your doors are shitty, like plywood or what's the particle board.
Yeah.
Steve's door is solid oak.
So Dusk can't just kick it.
Or Dan just can't kick it.
Not easily. You could give it a shot, but it's like hard.
That was why I wanted to try pick the lock.
Yeah, let's see if you can find some stuff to do it.
So notice,
like you can see stuff all over there. I'm gonna have you also roll smarts to find the right stuff.
Nice.
That's a raise. Yeah, you're able to find like a little set of picks. Not a set of picks, but like
something I can use as.
Yeah. There's a couple like
I watch the Modern Rogues YouTube channel.
Sure.
I know. And the lockpick channel guy. I know some stuff one can improvise with.
Absolutely, like some springs and some other things. And yeah, you can give me an untrained thievery check. It's going to be a D4 -2 though.
So I couldn't just use agility because it's specifically a thievery thing.
I think your agility is just too good for that.
Rude.
Let me just double check unskilled attempts.
Sure.
You get a D4 for your skill die and subtracts 2 from the total.
Let me check if I can add anything with a Benny or whether it just re-rolls.
It's just a reroll. And that's what the point of
Motherfuck.
conviction.
God damn it! Somebody want to donate $10 so I can have a
You'll still get to roll your wild die as well.
Okay.
And you'll take the higher between the two of them.
Let's see how this be.
Why the fuck were you worried, Gray?
Because Roll20 hates me.
Are you sure?
It likes this. It likes this. Maybe
likes
Roll20 is feeling generous because just like these people are dealing with enough shit quite quick.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you, like, Aaliyah, like, look at like what? Gray, what are you doing?
Well, I figure that if there are any answers in this place, they're gonna be in here. Also, Steve is a fuckhead.
Oh yeah. So you are picking it, and as you are picking it, we get the arrival of Erwin with a Duchess in his arms, coming from the 3rd floor.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, she's fine. Why are we still in here?
The building's condemned and the door is chained closed.
Don't they have to give you notice for that kind of thing?
Yeah, you'd think.
Huh.
Huh?
I don't know. Is this? He looks at like Dan and like all of the adults in the room.
Dusk is
like-
barely an adult. So, yeah.
He's tall though, which helps his credibility.
Yeah.
He's adult passing.
And is just like, I don't. Can they do that?
And Aaliyah or Eleanor says, I mean, they couldn't leave the fire escape from being repaired, and they couldn't let us live in a building with a broken elevator for 3 months. I don't know that they care about what they're allowed to do.
There's
Right, but,
probably
like,
a
we're-
reason we're condemned.
We're still in here though.
Dusk is gonna like take Duchess. Like, thank God, she's okay. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Dusk's the only one who hasn't seen anything of what this thing is.
Yeah. And as you're all talking about this, there's a click as Gray gets the door unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Quietly, so quietly. I can't believe this actually worked. Holy shit.
Dan was like, "Whoa, dude, nice, Nux."
Give a thumbs up.
Like, hold out a fist.
Dan feels like a good example for how masculinity is meant to be. Sure, I'll fist bump back.
Yeah, and you swing open the door to Steve's suite, which I didn't like change the floor plan. He probably has changed the floor plan. It's not just 2 apartments; it's like a whole like a big suite. And as you go in, roll a notice, but like you notice one thing immediately, which is that it's kind of weird. That's a Ray's very good job. It's kind of weird because it's not like an empty room of somebody who would have cut and run. But as you roll that notice check, you also don't see a lot of actual personal items. It's like this looks like something that someone lives in, but you don't see any of like Steve's like possessions that he like cares about.
Yeah. That tracks.
looks like it's left in this way, so it looks like he didn't cut and run.
Shoot. Shush. Sorry.
But so that was what the success got you, and the raise got you one more thing, which is he's got a desk in his room, in his suite. He's got like, maybe it does 2 suites. Maybe it's like office living space, because of course a landlord needs an office in one of his buildings. And you see most of like the major paperwork. Like you look around like, oh, there's a lot of paperwork here, but it's all like photocopied. None of these are original copies.
Yeah, lorem ipsum and all that jazz.
Yeah. But you see kind of fallen in between 2 like drawers, you pull out a bill of sale for the building, for the box. And it's the day before he capitulated to the rent strike. Steve sold the building.
I grab that, head back to where the others are, hold it out, just like, that motherfucker! He sold us out!
What?
The fuck?
Like, hand shaking with the bill of sale. It's just like, he sold the building the day before he gave in to our demands.
Can he do that?
I'm not a real estate lawyer, but I'm fairly certain it's done.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it's weird because it wasn't sold to another owner. It was sold to a company.
Mm-hmm. Do any of you know what? And I'll read the name of the company.
Which is it's just referred to as CBG.
CBG.
LLC.
Can we all roll common knowledge to see if that's something we might have heard of?
Absolutely. Fantastic. Somehow it's Erwin who knows it first.
Nobody is more surprised than Owen.
maybe it's because they work with animals. Who could say? But you recognize those initials and the name of like the signee as belonging to the Chimer Biotech Group.
The Chimer Biotech Group?
Yeah, they've like made a lot of waves by cloning livestock, which has been a thing for ages, like Dolly and all that. But like they have been cloning viable, non-sterile livestock.
Interesting.
Chimer like chimera.
That
Erwin
doesn't sound sinister.
Erwin's like, what's a chimera?
When it was a mythic creature with like more than one animal. Well, it's not just mythology, but it's like a mix of different things together.
I'm gonna say this because I personally think it's funny, but I think Dusk is just no filter right now. Do you know what a furry is?
No, what's that?
It's like people online use them to represent themselves as like an animal-human thing, but a lot of people make them like mixes of a bunch of different animals, like a dragon and a wolf together.
Like a sparkle dog.
Yeah, like a sparkle dog.
Yes,
Somebody
Dan.
knows what I'm
Yes,
talking about.
Dan.
Yeah,
Dan has a husky persona.
Sometimes people will come in and they'll be like, I want to look like this, and then they'll show me like a really buff panda bear.
Yeah, I've made fursuits for people before.
Oh, so like a really big rat with hands and a stinger would count.
That's oddly specific, but yeah.
Oh,
Looking
okay.
at Erwin in faint horror, like, that's what the rest of it is?
Dusk still doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
So I think the thing that killed Cassandra is one of those things, and he kind of like snaps and points at Greg because he doesn't remember what the word is.
Chimera.
Chimera, that thing.
Sparkle dog. This is a fucked up sparkle dog.
Does Erwin mention seeing the electrodes?
He
Like the
probably doesn't-
LEDs?
He probably doesn't think to unless someone asks for a more specific description.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he does say, like, I saw it in the hallway upstairs when I was getting Duchess.
Well, okay.
Dusk holding Duchess a little bit tighter, like, oh, okay.
She was a very good girl. She scared it away.
Oh, she's so good. You're gonna get so many treats later.
Did they release a killer rat chimera with human hands to clear out the building?
That seems kind of unnecessary.
I would argue, Erwin, that a giant rat with human hands and a stinger tail in and of itself is kind of unnecessary.
Literally 2 minors live in this building. Thank God one of them's not here.
I mean, they could have just asked us to leave, I guess. I don't... Evictions are... They could have just evicted us if they wanted us gone.
Dusk thinking is like, couldn't we have sued them if they did that, considering all the issues?
Hmm.
Maybe that's...
Do I
Maybe-
have the money to sue anybody? No.
Can we concentrate on getting out of the building?
Yes, yeah. Fuck, I have a handful of cat.
Dan just
Dusk.
runs into the wall and into the door and bounces off.
No, but...
Okay. Dusk, what other tools have you got?
I have... Well, okay, so I do technically still have a couple of power tools upstairs. But the batteries on some of them are dead because I haven't been using them. I have a drill. I have a power drill. I have some hand saws. I have a lot of hammers. I have a sledgehammer. Oh, I have a sledgehammer. Passes the cat to Erwin, and it's like, I'm gonna go get it. Hopefully I don't die. So I'm gonna run back upstairs. Like, I'm gonna go get a sledgehammer.
Cool. So Dusk is going to try to go upstairs alone.
Yes.
I
Unless
will
if someone comes with
I will
him.
follow Dusk. Because I don't think a sledgehammer is necessarily the way to go. I want to...
I
Did
mean, we can
they...
break glass with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, but it's wired glass with like the wire mesh in, which is designed to stay in place even if the glass breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that security glass that you see in hospitals and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was going to ask: would the doors normally open in or out?
Out.
So we can't get access to the hinges. Okay. All right. Go on, Danielle.
Did Steve put bars on the window of the sample apartment? Since it's to show off and stuff.
Yes, he's still put, because he's like, and look at the security measure.
Got it.
No one's going to climb in your window. Remember that meme? They're going to find you. Haha.
The worst.
Steve is the worst. Cool. So Dan is standing downstairs. Dusk and Gray are heading up. Erwin, what are you doing?
Erwin is holding a cat. And he's gonna go look down the trash chute.
Mm-hmm.
Or look up and down the trash chute to see if he can see the rat thing.
Cool. Give me a notice check. Yes, you see its tail kind of wiggling above a couple floors, not like wiggling as it leaves the trash chute on a
Mhm.
higher floor than the one you're on.
Okay.
And then you look down and you see the basement, which does have street access.
Right.
I suddenly have regret about making my character mechanically small.
Erwin looks back over his shoulder at the other people in the foyer. Like, do you think they chained the basement door too?
I don't know. I mean, at least I mean, they wouldn't. I don't know if they would have any. It's just a single door. It's not a double door. So how would you chain it shut? You'd have to like bolt another thing to the wall. And does Steve seem like the kind of guy who would spend the money on that?
Erwin kind of gestures at everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he runs back to the stairs,
Mhm.
and yells up, "The rat thing got off on one of the floors. Be careful."
Dusk. Fuck.
All right.
Cool. Yeah. So the two of you, head to the third floor.
Any
To
sign of the
Dusk's-
rat?
Make a notice check. Damn.
13.
Almost
Nice.
certainly not going to beat that, but I am going to roll its stealth. No. So yes, as you're moving, you hear it skittering in the ceiling above you.
Of the hallway, as it were.
Of the hallway, yeah.
I will go quickly. I will go and point upwards.
Dusk
To
freezes.
And I just give him a gentle push into his own apartment, and I'm going to quickly duck into mine.
Okay. What are you getting from your apartment?
One, I'm grabbing my softball bat.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I'm going to quickly grab, like, my sister's favorite stuffy and, like, just a couple of family things, because if we're not going to be able to come back here, like, Gray's entire life is in this apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Suddenly you think back to Aaliyah, looking at the things that she could take with her.
That was before we knew the building was condemned, and I know the rat's in the ceiling. Yeah, I like grab my backpack that I use for school and just stuff a couple of things into it.
Cool. As you're doing that, your notice is so good, you just hear the chewing in the ceiling above you.
I am going to take a slow step back. Because if it's directly above me, I want to quietly move so it might think I'm still there.
Mhm.
And just like take like a step back. And I want to paint the picture. I now have this backpack and I have a softball bat in my dominant hand and a frying pan in the other.
Fantastic. Give me stealth to sneak backwards.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. You'll roll against it to notice.
Fuck. So close.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, you do have 3 bennies. You can still roll those on an opposed check.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll spend a penny.
Mm-hmm.
Try that again.
Subway
Good
tokens.
tokens.
Yeah. 5. So you meet it. Which I'll let you. Well, I'll tie in your favor.
Thank you, sir.
Of course. So as you are like pulling back, you see the roof, the ceiling of your room in that corner just cave in as this thing pounces on the spot where you were, grabbing and like just ripping into one of your sister's less favorite stuffies before it like instead of feeling the hot flow of blood down its gullet, it tastes cotton. And it goes.
Can I make a fight check? Because there's a thing I want to try and do, but I want to see if it succeeds before I describe what it looks like.
Absolutely.
You are very kind. Okay.
Roll fighting.
Double ones. I will,
Double ones.
I
That's
will roll a
actually-
penny. I'm rolling a penny.
Well, actually,
Can I not do that on a?
unfortunately,
Not on a.
not on a critical failure.
That's fair, I guess.
So what were you going to try to do?
Basically bring the frying pan and the softball at like either side of its head and just sort of like clang. So
Fantastic. So you go to do
aim
that.
for the
but-
ears, like
Yeah, it's like boxing ears. You do that. The problem with a softball bat is it's so much longer and like more unwieldy when you're only swinging it in one hand.
yeah.
So you definitely misjudge the distance and just slam the softball, the like walk and the softball bat together, and this thing's eyes snap up to see you.
Yeah.
And it goes.
Mhm.
Dusk, you're hearing all of this, and you'll be able to act. But we're going to do a little bit of initiative.
Cool.
So here's how initiative works in this game, which I love. Instead of rolling initiative, we draw for it. I'm going to draw a card for Dusk, a card for Gray, and a card for the Rat Thing. And the person who draws the highest card goes first. So here's Gray's card, 2 of Hearts. Here's the Dusk's card, a 6 of Diamonds. And here's the Rat Thing's card.
Motherfucker!
Fucker.
Unfortunate. Now they do get to draw a new card every round. But for this first round, the Rat Thing goes first, and it is going to pounce on our good friend, Gray Novak.
It's probably bigger than I am.
It is. It's a size 0 creature, or size -1. Gray, what is your parry?
My parry is 4.
Which means it just needs to roll a 4 to hit you.
Ha!
It rolls a natural 1. That's not the way what it's called in this game. It rolls a 1 on a D8, and so its stinging tail flicks out, and you duck quickly.
I get the frying pan into the way.
The frying pan into the way.
Clang.
There's a clang as the stinger hits. You see like flecks of this weird, like kind of like clear-ish, like liquid that seems to be like sweating or oozing out of the pores of this stinger. A couple get on your fingers, not enough to affect you, but where it touches you becomes numb.
Ooh, hate that. But in good news, we got a Joker as a donation.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then everybody gets a Benny, and you get a +2 on your turn. On anything you do on your turn. But it's not your turn yet. It is Dusk's turn. And you hear clangs and shrieking rats in the room next to you.
Dusk freaking grabs, like, I think he was like in the middle of grabbing like the sledgehammer, and he has a tool belt that he was like throwing like a regular hammer in and like holstering on the drill, and he hears all of this commotion and just stops trying to put things in this belt and like tries to run into the other room with the sledgehammer.
Fantastic. So yeah, you're close enough that you can get in there. Though you're sprinting, which means you're going to get a -2. But thankfully, that Joker cancels that out. So you see this rat thing. It is like whipping its stinger tail at Gray, but it does not hit him yet, and you can act.
I'm gonna take a swing at it with the sledgehammer.
Fantastic. Make a fighting check. Do you have any fighting?
No.
All right, so you're going to roll a d4 minus 2. You're also going to roll your wild die, obviously.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm not the only one like humming Peter Gabriel to themselves right now, right?
Well, fuck.
I don't know. So that is a 1. So that's not going to hit. You can spend a Benny if you want to.
I don't know if it's going to be much better, but...
You never know. You did get an extra one from that donation we just got.
Yeah, I'll spend a Benny. Do I just click on it to do that?
No, you what you do is you open up your whoops, I gave you a card. That's wrong. You open up your hand when you see the 3 little tokens, you just drag it onto the page.
Okay. Bop. No. Leave. There we go.
Boom. There you go. There's the Benny. It goes
Okay.
away.
And
Yes.
I'm gonna roll unskilled again.
Hell yeah.
Hey!
That's better. That's better. Still not a success. When you're fighting in melee, you need to exceed its parry, which is often greater than 4.
Ugh.
This creature is made to fight, so it's got a parry of 6.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. So Dusk comes in swinging a big hammer, and this thing is like, and is not affected by your swings. Gray, that is your turn.
I will drop the frying pan and attempt a 2-handed swing on this. If it's got a parry of 6, I can only hit, I think, unless I might ace it. So to be fair,
You might ace it, and you get a +2 because of your Joker.
Oh.
You weren't running around or doing stuff.
Hey.
Boom! That is a hit. It's not an ace. It's not a raise on its parry, but it is a hit. So you're going to do your strength plus 1d6.
Okay, so my strength is a d4, so it's a d4 and a d6.
Yep.
All right.
And those can both ace.
Brian wants to know how much he has to pay to make you make the rat noise again, Zach.
$5 to give me a Benny. So that's 4. That aces the 4 aces, and that aces again. So you're going to roll a d4 plus 9.
Holy shit!
10. So in this game, to deal damage to an enemy, you need to 1 beat their toughness. You need to roll damage in excess of their toughness. And then each raise you deal to them deals an additional wound. But the first time when you hit their toughness, you shake them, which is what you have done, Gray. Mm-hmm. You crack this thing in the head so hard. You put that softball team skill to use. I always said, Gray can't run Gray can run very fast. They're like, why does Gray get to go at bat? We should just throw balls so the Gray just walks and we can have them steal bases. But no, you call your shot, you point like Babe Ruth to the rafters, and you just crack this thing in the head. It's not dead, it's not even wounded really, but it is shaken, which means that it is distracted and it can't fight you. You see the electrodes on the back of its head spark. Yes, but yeah, sorry. What were you saying?
Okay. I look round and then I'm just like, if any of you motherfuckers are watching this, you fucking suck. And I'm gonna grab the back of Dusk's shirt and just be like, okay, now we're running.
Run.
All right. Yeah, so you both run.
Sorry, Brian did donate the $5.
You gotta make the right noise.
Please don't make yourself throw up. You sound like one of my cats trying to get rid of a hairball.
Yeah,
Oh, Zachary, why?
sorry. So you flee to the ground floor as the rat thing tries to hold on to its own mind. As the two of you fly down the stairs and arrive on the ground floor where everyone else is.
Dusk wheezing.
You
The
should really quit
cigarettes, man.
smoking.
Listen, I'm real stressed out. Just like hands on the knees, like.
Yeah, it's definitely stress that does that to your lungs.
Oh, what's the smoking? I smoke because I'm stressed. Leave me alone.
Simon says, "What happened? What's going on?"
The rat thing happened. Holy fucking shit.
So I hit it real good.
Yeah.
But I also, no. Can I say I grabbed the frying pan on the way out again?
I think you dropped it and you
Oh,
grabbed
okay.
you
I
grabbed
grabbed
Dusk.
That's fine.
But Dusk does have the sledgehammer.
I do.
Yeah.
And I have a tool belt that has miscellaneous shit I threw in it, so who knows what's in there right now.
Mhm.
Is there an empty fire extinguisher around? Because I don't trust this place to have a full working one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we just give Dan at least something heavy to swing?
Man, I should have brought my barbells.
Well, they would have been very heavy to carry all of them.
Yeah. But you take the tie on one of them, and you just really tie it tight, and then you don't only put weights on one side, so it's like a mace.
You're terrifying.
Erwin holds up Duchess to Dusk to trade for the sledgehammer.
Dusk trades, because Erwin is definitely going to be better with the sledgehammer than he will. He's just like clinging to Duchess.
So, do we try to get rid of the rat, or do we just try to get out?
We should just try to get out.
I believe.
I think we might be able to get out through the basement. Maybe?
I mean, one of us can.
Everybody looks at Gray. Wait, doesn't the trash lead directly outside?
No, there's a dumpster in the basement.
Gross. Okay.
Yeah. And Dan's like, yeah, bro, my shoulders, my delts are too jacked.
I'm skinny, but I'm not that skinny.
Yeah. You actually see Dan look at Aaliyah and then make it so that he is the one that is unable to go through. Like draw attention to himself.
Mm-hmm.
But you pick that lock like a champ, right? And there's probably one on the chain outside.
Or there might be wire bolt cutters in the basement or something, because isn't that where maintenance, quote unquote, stuff's supposed to be kept?
Yeah.
Listen, you don't have to if you don't. Just let your freaking icon zoop across the screen.
And Aaliyah's like, wait, don't just climb. Let's make a rope or something.
Okay, I like that plan.
Dusk, who probably still has the net from before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good rope, but it can be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Or we could take the sheets from the sample apartment.
Or Steve's apartment. Fuck Steve's apartment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fuck Steve. Everyone just kind of in a row, like around, says fuck Steve.
Do we just take a moment and gather up supplies to just make a rope?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. That's not too hard.
Wait, I'm a MacGyver. I don't. Could I? Could I just roll smarts?
Yeah, you don't need to roll MacGyver, or even you don't need to roll anything to make just to tie some bed sheets together.
That's fair.
MacGyver's for like when you're like making some like real wild shit.
That's fair.
So the a lot of you like kind of work together. You like strip the sheets from the apartment and from Steve's suite to make a nice
Keeping over Steve's shit.
yeah. Steve like always made a big deal about the fact that he owned a gun so he could protect the apartment. And like you see that his gun is gone.
Motherfucker. Like the safe is open, all the ammunition's gone.
Yeah. The asshole. Yeah. So you like set up the rope. Though what are you tying it to? How are you anchoring it?
To a doorknob, probably?
Okay.
I feel like anchoring it to Steve's door would work best just because it's solid wood.
Sure.
I think Dusk is also looking around to see if he can't find something to block the top of the chute.
Oh, it's above.
That would be. There's not a lot to, because like the chutes are like they're not big, but they're like. I don't know what you would do to like keep it there beyond like holding it. You know, like what would you? I mean, I guess you could tell me how would you wedge it like shut?
I think Dusk is looking around like Steve's suite, the sample apartment out in the lobby area is like calculated is like I can just wedge some shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he gets I think what he does is he gets like the other like the bedding that was too thick to make into a rope, gets all that together and like duct tapes it together.
Makes a blockage. Yeah.
Making a blockage and then also like tapes knives to the top of it. Like so it's pointed up. So if something comes down the chute.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. You don't need rolls. This one you'll need to roll smarts for. This still isn't what MacGyver does exactly, but I'll let you. Yeah. The MacGyver is like kind of like the way it's like written in the book is a little bit restrictive because it's like you can make a weapon or like I guess it's like you can make a gadget with this.
Yeah.
It's a cool skill. Yeah, you're able to do that.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Dusk like I think like shoves it in there and then like uses I don't know, like breaks like probably one of the chairs is he just broke it because he thought he could use it, like takes part of it and just like shoves it further in there with the stick.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, if anything comes down there, well no, because it'll suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Gray, you clamber down. Give me an athletics check to climb down safely.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Great.
Can I just like slide down or try to like roll agility to stop myself sliding all the way down to the bottom?
You're going to roll agility in what is effectively a saving throw to not slam your back in on the concrete floor of the basement.
Oof.
That is this one you can spend a penny on though.
Yeah, wicked. I will do that, please. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Gray, you lose the rope almost immediately and start falling, and then like you like wedge your little body, like sneakers against one side and your shoulders against the other, like, and it hurts. It gives you like the pain of it and like the kind of exertion of it gives you a point of fatigue, which is a condition that gives you just a penalty to rolls.
Did you just put that on my sheet, or did I already have one for some reason?
I just gave you one.
Okay, cool.
Fatigued is you subtract one from all trait rolls. If you got another level of fatigue, you become exhausted.
Yeah.
And if you are exhausted and get another level of fatigue, you become incapacitated.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Cool. So Gray is just but you managed to like get down there, and now you are fully off the map.
Ha 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 ha.
Dusk
Terrifying.
calls down like, "You good?" Like Dusk is here.
Yeah. Gray, it's dark down here because there's a light switch at the front of the room and it's not on.
Yeah. I'll pull my phone out of my pocket. I've got no bars. It's
You got
like
a flashlight.
it's like a 3 or 4 iterations old iPhone with a busted screen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
As you're like pulling that out in your eyes, just give me a notice check.
Kaya!
That's not Gray. That's
You're
not
very
Blunt.
good at this.
I'm good at. I've got
Gray.
some skills.
Even before you you like pull out your phone and your eyes start to adjust to the gloom, you see one thing, which is a number of red LEDs. And you turn on the phone and you shine it, and you see a number of barrels wired together with some sort of timer on top of them.
How much time is on the timer?
It's like about 9:45, 10 o'clock in the morning. So
Mhm.
you have it's 2 hours.
Okay, cool. So
So
I
to go off at noon.
look back at the shop, just like, hey, Dusk,
Yeah.
how much do you know about electronics?
A bit. Why?
Just maybe start refreshing your memory on that.
What did you find?
Nothing good.
Oh, cool. Great. Awesome.
I guess I will like unwedge myself from the laundry chute and step out into the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in the basement. It's the basement. There is a couple. There's, you're in the you are in the laundry hamper. There's like a big, like almost hotel sized laundry hamper that all the clothes fall into. Next to that is the dumpster. They are like touching.
Gross.
Yeah. There's a number of chain link partitions in what is effectively just a big stone room. Behind one of them is the laundry machines. It's like locked with a padlock that everyone knows the combination to. But it is sticky and finicky. And then there is those barrels in the center of the room. And it's actually, here's the thing. They're in the center of the room, but you'll see they're wired also to barrels in the corners of the room as well. And also, just give me one moment, please. I'm getting a call.
No worries.
Gonna fuck up the foundation. Just
yeah. Yeah, I think that's how you do what is it, an implosion with building detonation, because they don't want it to go outward.
Yeah, they want it to fall in.
Yeah. This is stressful.
Yeah. This is honestly my worst nightmare. I used to live in a building that was set up very similarly to this. You'll remember when I was yelling in vent chat before we moved. Yeah, that sucked. And they legit condemned half of a building. They apparently sold that building to new owners, and they are renovating the whole thing. We have yet to see anything change. Just a lot of signage like changes coming soon under new management.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So Greg, there's the central one, the central barrels, which is like a larger stack of barrels, or like a cordon of them. And then there are ones in the corners of the room. And then you also see like the maintenance thing, which is another chain link partition that's in one corner of the room, which has like just general like handyman stuff. If it's like, that was the first thing that Steve did, which is like, hey, if you want to have gumption and fix things yourself, I'll make that available to you.
Ugh, hate that guy. Cool. I'm gonna carefully make my way around the explodey stuff. And I don't want to turn the light on in case it's all white in, but why would they do that? I want to say, Zach, you've made me paranoid. Well done. I will try to get to the street level door and see what the state of affairs is with that.
Sorry, get the what done?
The door that opens out to street level.
Yeah, that is locked, but unlike the other stuff, it's got like, the deadbolt is drawn on it, but that's on this side of the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, is he?
I said, well, damn.
And you thread the deadbolt, and you pull the door open, and it's the day outside.
Okay. I'll head back to the hatch and say the street level door is open. If I can go round to the front of the building and try and undo the padlock. What do people want me to do?
Does the maintenance does that space do they got bolt cutters in there? Because that might help. All I have is like regular ass wire cutters, and that won't do shit.
So I'll say one thing. This is a thing that bennies can do that is like one of the less often used things. But the last thing that bennies can do, they can reroll traits, they can recover from shaken, roll soak, draw new action cards in combat, reroll damage.
Come up with some mundane but needed item.
They can influence the story.
Nice. Hell yeah. Then I will spend one of my bennies and go over to the maintenance cupboard or part of the section of the basement and pull out a pair of bolt cutters.
Hell yeah.
And you got them. And so you start heading around to the front of the building. And everyone's like, oh, fantastic, sigh of relief, we're going to be fine. And then you hear skittering.
The fuck?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Nothing good skitters.
Except for Spider Cat.
Except for Spider Cat.
The Spider Cat skitter, specifically?
Yes.
There has to be an exception that makes a rule. So the rule stands.
Yeah, was it not you? It's
those of us still in the lobby.
Those of you still in the lobby hear it, and you see the door, the roof kind of buckling, the ceiling buckling a little bit before the rat thing drops down in the center of everything and begins to move to menace you.
Erwin is going to put himself between the rat thing and everyone else.
Dusk moves to the door of Steve's suite to like look and be like, oh god.
Yep. So roll. So we're not. Oh wait, not roll. We're going to draw initiative. I'm going to draw one for Erwin, which is the 8 of spades.
Jesus.
One for your neighbors. They have a 10 of clubs.
Jesus.
One for Dusk, King of Diamonds. And one for the rat thing, Queen of Hearts.
Fuck.
So this goes King, Queen, 10, 8. Dusk. This thing is looks like it's going to try to get Erwin.
Let me look at the things that I can do. Because I'm not a very strong person. Okay. Can I throw a small hammer at it to
Yeah,
distract it?
absolutely. So this is actually a thing in combat in this game. Like, sure. Also roll fear.
Yeah, that's
It's a spirit roll. Yeah, Dusk, you're fine. It's incredible. Like, yeah, we're gonna use the fear rolls. Didn't need them. Didn't need them. It's fine. So anyway, a thing you can do in combat is two things. One, you can support someone. You roll a skill check, and if you succeed, you grant your ally a +1 to a trait test on the round. And if you raise, you get a +2. But a critical failure subtracts 2 from their stuff. The other thing you can do, if you want to harry or like distract or upset someone without actually trying to hurt them for whatever reason, you can test against them by just doing a skill to make things more difficult for your foe. And in that case, if you win, you can make it's an opposed roll.
Mhm.
And if you win, you can make your opponent distracted or vulnerable. And if you raise, the target is also shaken. Which means that they can't like do anything.
So could I pitch you on me doing a performance roll for this? Because I'm trying to get its attention and distract it.
Absolutely, you can do that.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna do that against its smarts.
Okay, I'm gonna roll performance.
Wow.
I'm spending a Benny. No,
So
can I spend a Benny on this?
you could spend a Benny, but here's the fun thing:
Oh,
is it
no.
rolled a 1 and you rolled a 2.
Oh.
So you actually win.
I don't need to spend a Benny. I win.
Nope, you don't need to spend a Benny. So these are the two things you can do. One, it's you can either make it distracted, which means it gets a -2 to all its rolls until the end of its next turn, or vulnerable, where actions and attacks against the target get a +2 until the end of its next turn. So it's either you debuff it or buff your friends.
Buffing my friends.
Cool. Sweet.
And Dusk like throws a hammer. The hammer just whiffs. But this is like, hey! Big freaking ugly. And I've still got like Duchess. And she's like, motherfucker.
Fantastic. So that's your action. It's now the rat thing. It was going to go for Erwin. It's now going to go for you.
No, that tracks.
Though it is afraid of Duchess, so it's going to get. I'm going to give it. It's going to get a -2 to this, because it is scared of a cat. I thought I had a floating. We'll just apply it after the fact. Cool. So it's gonna swing its tail at you. What is your parry?
2.
Your parry is 2. Oh, right. You have 0 fighting, so it hits.
I can't fight.
It hits. It doesn't raise, but it hits, and you're going to take 9 damage. What is your toughness?
4.
So that's a hit and a raise, which means you are shaken and take 1 wound. As this thing, its thing stabs forward and like hits you in the shoulder, just misses Duchess. You drop her, and she goes meow and like runs behind you. As this thing like impales you, and you need to make a vigor roll against the paralysis of its tail.
Cool. Okay.
Thankfully, you are not affected by its paralytic venom, but you are hurt. That hurt. That hurt
So
bad.
it's another wound.
No. It's not another wound.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just you just don't get you'll get paralyzed on top of that.
Okay.
Wow. So that is its turn. It has attacked you. Next are your neighbors, who are all going to they're going to support Erwin. Get him, Erwin! Look, he's distracted. And they're just going to roll 2d6 and keep the highest, because when you are working in a group, even if you are not wild cards, you can get an extra die by working in a group. Cool. So it's a 4. So Erwin, you get a total of +3 on your action.
Okay.
You have a sledgehammer.
Yeah, but I'm also a pacifist. Like, I don't want to hurt this thing. It's just a rat. Like,
Oh
it's
my
a-
god.
Oh God, it literally hit me.
This thing is actively trying to kill your friend.
Yeah, but still, like, it didn't choose this life. I want to wrestle it.
Oh my god.
I love you so much.
Oh, Owen.
Okay.
Dumb fuck.
Percy's somewhere in the distance. My boyfriend's doing something stupid.
Okay.
Grappling check is an opposed athletics roll.
Yes. That would make sense. You're going to get a +3 to this.
Yep.
So you're rolling a 9, +3, so that's 12.
I think I added the +3 already.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
You didn't.
It might not add to the wild die, to be fair.
It does
Oh,
not. Well, no, I didn't add to either of them.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
It's fine. So Erwin, you are gonna just you just grab this thing and like hold it, and you see like the like the electrodes and like mechanical stuff like in its head as you like hold it down. You like put the thing like one arm around its neck to like pull it back, and one arm is grabbing its is holding the tail at the stinger as it goes. But you do have it pinned for the moment.
Well, a 9 versus a 4, does that count as a raise?
It does count as a
Is
raise.
it bound now?
Yeah, that would be bound. It is distracted and vulnerable as long as you remain bound and cannot make physical actions other than trying to break free.
Cool.
You got this thing like down. Fantastic. And so we are going to draw another round of initiative. Gray, you are now back in the initiative order as you are running around the corner.
Okie dokie.
So here's a card for you. It's the Queen of Spades. Card
Nice.
for your neighbors, 6 of clubs. Card for Erwin, 9 of hearts. Card for Dusk, 8 of clubs. And the card for the rat thing, Jack of clubs. So Gray, you are first.
Yeah, let's get the bolt off this. Get the chain off the doors.
So this is the bolt cutters are what's going to allow you to make this test.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
this is a sturdy chain, and so you're going to need to succeed at a strength test at a -2.
Can I
have
make
the
an argument for
force.
athletics?
No, because you don't have brute, so your athletics is about your agility.
Fuck. Strength with a -2.
Hmm?
I'm sent the small child out to do this.
No one
did.
else can go through the chute.
I'll roll. Just 2's got to come off this.
Yeah, for sure. So that is a 0
2.
and a 2. That's a 2. So you don't get it this round, but you can keep trying. And it's just like keep going until you get it. You know what I mean?
Eventually it'll break.
Eventually it will break. But it's just it's you really need like pectorals, biceps,
You need Dan.
deltoids. You need Dan out there to do this.
Yeah, I do really love the visual of this fucking skinny ass tiny goth kid struggling with a pair of bolt cutters that are longer than his arms. Just
Yeah.
what's that shot in Mad Max Fury Road where is it? I think Mag is faking out not being able to do it. It looks like that.
Incredible. Cool. So that is you. Next is the rat thing, which is just going to try to flail and escape. It's going to make its own athletics check. You're going to keep contesting it, Arwen.
Okay. Am I still at a +3 or is it new round?
New round. It's now back to normal bonuses. So it rolled a 6.
All right.
You rolled a 4. You could spend a Benny, or it will escape. It will break out of your grasp.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a Benny.
You've
That's
got
good.
like 4 pennies.
That's better.
7 is 1 greater than 6, which means you keep that shit locked down. Good job. Now it is your turn, Erwin.
I just want to maintain my hold, really.
Sweet. Erwin, make a notice check. Your hold is maintained. Cool.
God damn it.
Your hold is maintained.
He's like motioning with his head for Dusk to grab his cat and get on the other side. So he's not
Dusk
blocked.
is not going to do that, actually. What Dusk is going to do is... Okay, Zach, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Does Dusk notice the weird sparking electrodes?
Yeah, I mean, it's they're not like sparking. They are like lit up and on its head.
It's right in front of me, so I figured I just wanted to make sure.
Absolutely.
Dusk. I think,
Go on, rip him out of its head.
Well,
Do it.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, Erwin, keep its mouth shut. I'm just gonna try to rip the electrodes out of its head. This is gonna go well for me.
Yeah, this is gonna go well for you. Cool. Make a repair roll.
Oh, I was gonna ask if I could do that. Thank you.
Yeah, this is mechanical stuff.
Whop.
4. Cool. So there's 2 modules in its head, and you're able to get one of them. And you pull it out, and it's like there's still wires that it looks like, oh, this thing is wired into its brain, but you like disconnect the wire and are holding it, and you look at this, and you immediately recognize what this thing in your hand is.
What is it?
It's a capture card.
Motherfucker! They're recording us!
Because you can see there's a spot for an SD card that is like in there in recording.
I fucking told you. I said I feel
Greg
so
can't hear
validated. But Jade can.
This is just cussing.
Yeah.
Pockets it because evidence.
Mm-hmm. And then it is their turn. Your neighbors, they're gonna roll notice as well. Fantastic. They look to the stairwell, and Eleanor says, "Someone's coming."
There's
And
more.
you
What?
hear the sound of heavy footsteps coming down, and we're gonna draw the next round of initiative. Gray gets the Joker.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Which means
We all
everybody
get a
gets a Benny. Everybody gets a Benny. And everybody gets a Benny. And you all get a +2 on all of your checks this round. And Gray, you can go whenever you want.
Ooh. I'm gonna go first.
Fantastic. Erwin draws an ace, which the ace of spades, which means that if Gray doesn't want to go first, Erwin goes first. Dusk grabs the 5 of spades. Your neighbors grab the 7 of clubs. The rat thing, the 7 of spades. And the thing in the stairwell gets the jack of spades. Fantastic. So, yeah, great. You want to go first?
Yeah, and now it's just a flat strength check, right? Because I've got the +2 will negate the -2.
The +2 will negate the -2.
Boom, baby!
Hell yeah.
Crack goes the chains. You'll still need to spend an action to unravel them, but the door is no longer bound.
Fuck yeah.
Which is great. That's great for you.
I don't like that choice of phrase, and I am afeared.
Erwin, does your turn.
I'm going to maintain my hold on this creature.
Fantastic. So you maintain your hold on this creature, and you hear the door to the stairwell opens, and a man in a gas mask and fatigues walks in.
The fuck?
On the breast of his jacket is the letters CBG over a circle with a sort of minimalistic representation of a goat, a lion, and a snake.
Fuck yes. Excuse me.
The Jake's pleased.
And he presses a button, like he's got like a radio, and he clicks it and he says, "Yeah, we're compromised." And then he pulls out a gun. And he's not. It was his turn to get here. Next round, he's going to shoot one of you. But it is the rat thing's turn, and it's going to try to escape. And it doesn't. It doesn't matter what you roll. Yeah, it doesn't escape. Good Lord. Erwin.
Watching all of Erwin's dice go.
No wonder you're Erwin. You're a goddamn monster wrestler. Fantastic. Yeah, it can't escape. It remains bound. Your neighbors are like, holy shit, and Dan charges.
Yes, Dan. I mean, this is probably going to go bad for him, but yes, Dan.
He's going to get a group roll. He actually has a D8. No, he wouldn't have a D8 in fighting. He has a D8 in strength, so he's going to get a group roll still because they are helping him.
Hell yeah.
That's a 5. Let me check the parry on this. 5 is the soldier's parry, so he is going to roll a D8 to try to knock this guy out. Or at least shake him a little bit.
Yes!
Good work, Dan.
It's a 7, which is greater than the soldier's toughness. So Dan shoulder checks this guy back into the stairwell. His head bounces against the concrete wall, or the brick wall. Dan is holding him there. This guy is shaken. Might be able to unshake at the beginning of his next turn, but currently is locked down. Which means it is Dusk's turn. Sorry.
I'm gonna try and pull the other half of this thing out of the rat's head.
Fantastic.
Roll repair again.
So that's a failure, but you have 3 bennies now.
Yep.
And we only have half an hour left of the slot, so go nuts.
Anytime.
And there was the joke with this round, so you get a +2.
Yeah. Let's try again.
Yeah.
Hey!
So that's a 6. You pull out this other module, and this one you realize, this thing is actually. This one was wired into this thing. You see 2 things on it. One is got a transceiver, which means that this one, the capture card was not transmitting; it was just recording. This thing was receiving transmissions, and you look at the other thing inside of it. It was not just wired, but a tube was plugged into this thing's brain, and you see what is obviously a adrenaline booster.
Dusk pockets this piece of electronics.
Now the rat thing is still freaking out and trying to escape, but it doesn't have any of the mechanics in its body anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that's the end of the round. We're drawing. This might be the last round of the game. depending on how things go. We're going to draw for Gray. 2 of
Gosh.
clubs. We're going to draw for Irwin. 4 of spades. Draw for Dusk. Ace of hearts. Draw for the soldier. 10 of hearts. And your neighbors, King of spades. And the rat thing, a 3 of spades. We start with Dusk.
Hello.
I would like to. No, I'm okay. Gray, you can spend a Benny to get a new action card.
I can, can't I? Yeah, I will. Thank you, Danielle.
Cool. We drop that, and we draw. Well, how about that, gang? How about fucking
Look
that?
at that! Just a lucky Lou. Look at that. Incredible.
Yo!
Thank you, Danielle.
Second Joker. So you can go first if you want to.
I would very much like to go first, please.
Everybody gets another Benny. What an incredible.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. There's 2 ways to get out of poverty, and one of them is to win the lottery. Look what you've done today. So everyone gets a new Benny. Everyone gets a +2 on all other actions, and it is Gray's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna, as fast as I can, pull the chain off the door handles, and as a free action, because I checked what those would allow me to do, pull the doors open.
Fantastic. The doors are open. The soldier goes, shit! How did you get out?
Gray, I'm tiny, motherfucker.
I just holding the bolt cutters, barely managing to hold them up, so I just flip him the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Dusk yells for everybody to get the fuck out. And then I think
Get out. Get out of here. Go.
You can always pull one of the neighbors out after you or with you.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna. I want to get past Irwin and the rat, but I also want to kick the rat.
Don't kick the rat. Just go.
You're also, I think you can move as well as take an action. If I read the rules correctly.
Yeah, you can move and take an action.
Okay, I think actually what I'm gonna do is
Kick the motherfucker instead of the rat.
Yeah.
he's
you're
in
not.
the stairwell.
Yeah, but then
He's like in the corner, like between the door to the stairwell. Like he's like wedged up against the stairwell door.
Yeah.
You're very tall. You could just smack a motherfucker.
Could.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I don't know why we expect Gray to be able to hit anybody. At Dusk, rather.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was
why
gonna
we-
say rude.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, because what I wanted to try to do actually was but Irwin would hate me if I did this, is the thing.
Just leave. Please just leave.
It's a one shot. What does it matter if Owen hates you?
It matters to me personally.
Follow the fiction, Izzy. Do what feels right to do.
For Dustler, I think feels to fucking jam a screwdriver into the rat's brain.
Fantastic. Make a fighting check.
Cool. The thing
This
I
is-
can't do.
Yeah, this is unfortunately no longer repair. You're stabbing a thing in the brain.
Yes. And I'm shaken, and this is gonna be fun.
Oh, you have to roll to unshake. You
Oh.
can't actually do anything until you are no longer shaken. You are not you do not unshake.
Can you still move if you're shaken?
No, you can't do anything.
Okay, well then
So
I'm
you could spend a Benny to unshake.
I'm gonna do that.
Cool. Yeah, it's like you roll. If you fail, you can still spend a Benny and not be shaken.
Cool. Yeah, then I'm gonna try to stab it in the brain now.
Fantastic. Make a fighting check. You don't take the -2 because of the Joker, but you do have -1 from being wounded. That is unfortunately not a success.
Cool. So I just kind of just fuck up entirely.
You flail at it on the way out.
Yeah, I'm just like meh.
Your hands are
Fantastic.
full of cat.
Yeah. No, yeah, she got in the way. She was like, nope.
Yeah, you see Duchess just bat it in the head on the way out.
Smack.
Fantastic. That is your neighbors. They are mostly going to start running, or wheeling out. They're moving out, but Simon runs up and is going to give one more assist to his boy.
That's love, baby.
That's love, and that is unfortunately not a hit. So they like kind of try to get him, but like are just like running and try to push Dusk out of the building.
Okay.
Which means it's this guy's turn. He's going to make a spirit roll to unshake. He's got a D6. And he fails. But I have bennies too. And he like kind of like reels, was like shit, and he says, "Yeah, we're super compromised. I'm gonna clean up as much as I can." And he comes and points and shoots you, Irwin.
Is there something about shooting into melee?
He doesn't care if he hits the rat because he needs to kill that too.
Okay.
There's a 5. You are within close range. I need to find which gun he has. I need to shoot over to gear real quick. It's not. He's not firing like an assault rifle. He's got like a submachine gun.
Jeez.
So he's kind of spraying it indiscriminately as he shoots at Irwin. That's 13 damage. Or what is your toughness?
6.
6. So that's 6 shaken, 10 wounded, but only 1 wound. So you become shaken and take a wound. You let go of the rat thing.
So the 5 beats my pari even just because it's in close combat.
Well, he's not in close combat. He's like stood away from you a little bit. He's just shooting at you. So it doesn't take parry into account. It's just a skill roll.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, he's not like he can shoot at either of you because both of you are compromises to like have made this mission compromised. So you are wounded 1. You take 1 wound, which is going to give you a penalty. But that's his whole turn, and now it's yours, and you get a +2 to everything.
Okay. I have already let go of the rat thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll to unshake.
Cool. That's your spirit. You're good. You're super good.
So good.
Like you just shake off the fucking bullet like, nah, bitch.
Yeah, you like look up at this guy who's trying to kill you for some reason. You haven't done anything, and this guy's trying to murder you.
Right.
And the rat.
And the rat.
Not today, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm just going to run past.
Hell yeah. You can do that.
Yeah. That's I just want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Close the
I'm
doors
not a
behind me.
pacifist. Damn it! Don't close the door.
Do you shut the door behind you?
Yeah.
Do you shove the sledgehammer through the handles?
So Irwin, you run out, right? You slam the doors shut behind you of the box. You slam the sledgehammer into the door, and the rats, now freed, turns, and the soldier's like, "Okay, asset," and like you see like pull up like a little electronic like clicky thing, and click it, and nothing happens. He goes, "Shit!" Click, 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 as the rat gets closer. And then we
Dusk
cut
on the other side of the door just wiggles the mechanical
and
at the dude and flips him off.
and we cut outside as this as this guy screams and the rat like roars, and then you see upstairs, not upstairs, you see on the roof, you hear people moving, as a ladder or some sort of like bridge is like laid down from rooftop to rooftop, and you see a number of other people in like masks and lab coats like flee.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Dusk takes a photo with his phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, and as this is happening, we cut downstairs to the timer on the building's implosion bomb, and it's like taking down like an hour and a half left, and then it just freezes and says manual override, and then flicks green, and you hear a rumble as the building collapses in front of you.
Fuck. Oh, that poor thing.
Great, I have to call Social Security now. My wallet was in there.
And Aaliyah's like, yeah, a lot of things were in there, but we weren't.
Yeah.
And as you are all like standing there kind of in mute, just wild like wonder at what has happened today, you hear like a coughing voice come around the corner, and you see a kind of dusty looking Steve Baxter say, is it done? Is it the check cleared? So I oh shit.
Erwin tackles him.
Dusk's also like running over like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
And with that image, we pan up to the sky, and as the sounds of a number of tenants, boots, shoes, and fists, impacting the soft and weak flesh of a landlord. The words "the end," ... question mark fade into view.
Hey,
Fuck you.
And that is, they can't evict all of us, but they can do so much worse.
Yeah.
Max,
Moral of the story is landlords suck.
landlords are leeches, and fuck them.
Fuck them. Fuck them. And that is our tale for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I have been your building manager and game master, Zachary Frederickson, found on Twitter at ObviouslyGod, found on Bandcamp at iambugray.bandcamp.com. And I've been joined today by my fellow neighbors, Danielle.
Hi, I've been Danielle. You can find me on the internet at Redtail Talk 90. You can find my home podcast, The Room Where It Happened, at RoomWherePod on Twitter. Catch me DMing Dumb Kids Playing Hero, which is an Animorphs-inspired actual play podcast, or talking about Animorphs because I can't get enough of it, with our good friend Jade here at the Escafil Files.
I've also been joined by Jade, as was mentioned moments ago.
What up? I'm Jade. I continue to be found at Twitter on JodeOxfordRose and appearing on Follow the Leader, as well as the aforementioned Escafil Files and Dumb Kids Playing Hero. And you should stay tuned because in about 10 minutes we're going to do a very different game and I'm going to be playing a very different character. And I'm excited.
Same.
Stay tuned.
And finally, I've been joined by Izzy.
Hi, I've been Izzy. You can continue to find me on Twitter at the Sean Deer. You can find my home podcast at Hope's Hearth Pod and the Redwall Reread podcast at Abbey Archives. I also do art commissions that you can find on my regular Twitter. This
They're
has been
good.
fun. Zach is a great DM.
Thank
another
you
alarm.
very much. The alarm's gone off, which means it's time for us to get the fuck out of here. We need to find a new place to live.
Ugh,
Dusk calls his mom like, "Hey, mom,
God.
can some people come stay with us?"
First, you
Alright.
call your mom, then you call the press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta let my mom know I'm alive.
Call an ambulance.
Call
All
me.
right, stay tuned. Keep safe, and never let them take more than they are meant to.
Also, Brian. Hey, it's Brian. If just like last time, we're gonna go off briefly and then come back. If you could load your Twitch page once that happens, that would be great, because sometimes Twitch is like, oh, the stream restarted, but all the people are here. Those aren't people. That's a zero number, and we would appreciate not zero numbers. So make numbers go up.
Make number
All
go
right.
up.
Make the number go up. We'll be right back.
Beer beep.